The offseason continues. Let's get right into it. We have a much busier re-sign phase than I anticipated, but thankfully we have a lot of cap space to work with. Let's get right into it. Of course, first things first, we re-sign Hannu Herme. How long he sticks around for, I do not know, but I am going to sign him to pretty much exactly what he wants. I am fine with that. He wants not even a bridge deal. He just wants a quick deal. But yeah, Jeremy Waugh. Jeremy Waugh needs a new contract, and for that I will have to break out the old calculator app on my computer. Because, yeah, 15% can be tricky. But let's see. How many years is he looking for? He is looking for 7 years. Who am I to argue? You pretty much deserve that. Absolutely. So let me see here. We can cut about $1.4 million off of this. So we will go right down to 8.1. Actually, you know what? I'll go to 8.2 to play it safe. But still, 7 years, 8.2 mil for a 94 overall defenseman? I'm cool with that. Cholowski, who of course we signed to a 1-year deal, hoping, praying he would re-sign with us, or that he would recover from the morale scare. He did just that as our captain, raising the Stanley Cup. We can cut about $1 million off of this, so let's go straight to 6.2 million to play it safe. And if we can keep this defense together, we are going to be in a good spot. Now, if you talk about who is likely to crack our top 6, you have the likes of Carlo and Bouchard. Here is the problem. They're both the right-handed defensemen. They're both battling for the same exact spot, that third line right-handed side. So, do we go with Carlo, who isn't going to get any better, or do we go with Evan Bouchard? I mean, here's the problem, though. I don't know if we're going to be able to re-sign Carlo. We might just have to let him go, which, if that happens, that is fine. Obviously not ideal. Obviously, you don't exactly want to let a player like him just walk away. But we will see what happens with him. Ralph Jarrett also needs a new deal. We'll sign him to exactly what he wants. You know, I mean, he's not going to turn into what he did for us in the Nord series, but he could still be a useful player. Zachary Senyshyn needs a new deal, which is not good. That's not an ideal spot for us. I'm going to actually try to re-sign Sjogren first, and we'll give him the exact deal that he wants. Travis Barron, same thing, because I want to see how much cap space we have to work with. Matthew Strome also needs a new contract. All right, I mean, Tyler Seguin, we know he's coming up. We know he is the main person that we have to re-sign along with that defense. So this is about to get very, very interesting. We can cut about 1.6 million off of this. So that's not too bad. Let's go to 925, and we will see if he accepts that. We are going to let go of Victor Rask outright. And from there, we can actually let go of Devin Shore and DePauli, who were signed on as depth players. And let's see here. We have already aimed to invest a ton of money into a few players. We're going to have to take a look to see who accepts. And hopefully the 15% trick cuts us a little bit of slack. Tyler Seguin has resigned. Herme, Sjogren, Bouchard. Bouchard, man, that was like a half whistle. If that picked up on the mic, that's going to be loud as shit. It scared me. Travis Barron, Jeremy Waugh, Cholowski, Ralph Jarrett. They have all re-signed. How much money do we have left? We have $11 million left. Okay. And how many players do we need to re-sign? Holy hell, this is about to get interesting. Like, there's no way we can bring back Carlo. Like, we could tag him as an RFA. Like, that's what we might have to do with these guys, is just tag them as RFAs and see if anybody else picks them up. That's exactly what I'm going to do. We might lose some players. I'm hoping to get some draft picks for them. Let's qualify Brandon Carlo. Let's qualify Seneshin. We will try to re-sign Riley Tufte here. We'll actually give him exactly what he wants. Left wings, we will qualify Matthew Strome. And centers, DeBrincat, Chmelevski, and Sokolov. We'll just offer him a deal to begin with. And from there, we will see if anybody... I mean, that's the thing. I expect some of these guys to accept, but I don't want to tie up most of that cap space. I don't want to tie up most of that cap space because I do want to take a look, as Tufte has resigned as well. I want to take a look at the free agent list. And I actually don't know if we'd be able to resign all of those guys anyway. So let's just play it safe. We will play it safe. And we'll see what happens. And actually, none of them took the immediate qualifying offer. They have gone to free agency. So we should be able to take advantage of this as you get a look at the list of players. Some decent names. Wow, Matthew Benning for the Edmonton Oilers, formerly a Bruins draft pick, up to an 88 overall. Okay. But let's take a look here. Goaltending, we obviously don't have to worry about. The number one guy is John Gillies. Vieni Vivalainen is up there. What are we looking at prospect-wise? Grabeshkov, Mackenzie Blackwood, Adam Werner's available. Nobody great. Not that we need the help anyway, but it doesn't hurt to look. It doesn't hurt to look. Defensively, any decent prospects available? Sanheim, he kind of got screwed over by that low potential. Carlo, of course, is there, who I just don't think will resign anyway. A couple of medium tops, quite a few medium top 6 guys who might be worth. There's a lot of them. Damn, there's a lot of medium top 6 defensemen. What the hell's up with the John Law name, by the way, too? Is it supposed to? I don't get it. I think I know what it's supposed to do, or what it's supposed to. John Law. It's dumb. That's what I'm saying. It is dumb. It scares me that there's that many medium top 6 defensemen, because that means they're probably not worth having. There is a guy here, though. High AHL top 2, Sylvain Fleury. 21 years old. He might be worth looking at, and you know what? I think he is. So we're going to sign him, hopefully, to an entry-level deal. Aside from that, I am not currently too impressed with the free agent players on the market right now. Not one bit. Maybe the forwards, though. We'll change that. Is that Dmitry Taratukin? It is. Dmitry Taratukin. Haven't seen that name in a while. Only an 81 overall. I guess we got rid of him at a good time. Let's take a look here. Prospect-wise, medium top 9's not ideal. Sean Goligoski, I think we'll pass on him. What's high bottom 6 looking like? Nothing there. How about high AHL? Any decent names, like under the age of 23-ish? Wyatt Bear, 79 overall. I think we'll pass on him. You got Andrew Fighten. Well, let's see. Yep, nothing ideal there either. Okay, left wings. Of course, Strome. We have a guy here, Ken Johnston, who belonged to Montreal. You know what? He's going to be worth going after, I think. And we'll give him the max entry-level deal. Give him the max entry-level deal. High bottom 6. Anybody in particular? No. How about high AHL potential? Anybody worth going after there? Not looking like it. Okay, so centers. And then after all this, of course, we will worry about re-signing our own players. Let's take a look here. 22 years old. Vladimir Kabanov. Nah, maybe. Then there's also Matthew Marchand. I think we'll pass on them as well. Well, actually, this Jake Crombeen, not the ideal center. Not the ideal center. Let's take a look here at high AHL potentials, and then we'll worry about the players that we really should be worrying about to begin with, rather than these prospects. There is nobody for centers. Wow, they're all 25 and up. Okay. So, who have we sent offers to? Just so that I can keep track. Johnston and Fleury. That is it. Right. And there are obviously other medium top 9 guys we could send offers to. So let's take a look at the cap situation. Let's take a look at who we think will improve, won't improve, and who we should potentially get rid of. That is the question. $9.3 million to work with. Meant to go to RFA. $9.3 million isn't going to cover all of these players. There is absolutely no way. So, I'm content to just let them sit there as RFAs until we get to the preseason and we see the progression of other players. So that's what I'm going to try and do. We're going to try to sim to the preseason. If we get an offer for somebody, we'll of course stop the sim and cut back to it and make a decision. But we are in a decent spot to end up getting some draft picks. And also, really quickly, I will take advantage of upgrading our club seats to level 5. And that should be 5-star everything, which is the goal. And then we will repair all of this. I don't think I got the achievement yet for getting 5-star everything until now, which is lovely. Insufficient funds. Okay. So with that little side note taken care of, let's move forward. You know what? For the hell of it, we'll keep it live, because normally I would do some of the trades before then, as Sylvain Fleury and Ken Johnston have accepted. Actually, you know what? To save on time, let's stop the sim. I'm going to go to the preseason. If anybody signs, I will let you guys know. And there we go. We have our first offer. Buffalo giving Matthew Strome 2 years at $4.6 million. In return, we'd get a first and a third. And I honestly think we should take that. Like, I want to keep Matthew Strome, but for that much money for a bottom 6 player, that is not worth it. So Matthew Strome, I'm sorry, I'd love to keep you here, but for a first and a third round pick, I will take it. Matthew Strome is off to Buffalo. We actually get another offer, and again, this is perfect. Brandon Carlo, it sucks that they're going to Eastern Conference teams, but Carlo, $5 million for 3 years. For a third pairing defenseman? I don't think so. We will gladly let him go to the Rangers for another first and another third. Will we have a third offer? We will not. But we get a first and a third for Carlo and Matthew Strome. I feel like that's a good bit of business. And that's really what I was hoping for, because of the amount of money I knew that they were going to ask for. So I feel like, and god damn it, the Providence Bruins ended up signing somebody. It looks like it was only one guy, though, so that's good. I thought we had enough people to avoid that. But one player isn't necessarily a huge detriment. And you know what? Since we're live, let's figure out this team. Although, in saying that, some of my normal taking time tactics might not work out. Shane Finger's an 83. Shane Finger is an 83. Definitely good enough to be the backup goal. And you know what? Just seeing that first spot, I'm going to make the jump cut. I'm going to get the team in order. And then we'll showcase you guys the team like I always do. And it's time now for our yearly purge, getting rid of players who don't exactly have a spot on this team anymore. And we start off with, as you would expect, Evan Sawchuk, who was actually up to an 86, 1 overall point better than Hanu Herme. But somebody proved themselves in the postseason, somebody else didn't. It sucks to get rid of Sawchuk, but then you look at our goaltending situation. We can't have Shane Finger down in Providence because we need Poulin and Nesbitt to get their time in. We're not even going to sign Hornquist or Sundstrom yet. So it is one hell of a situation goaltending-wise. We will see if this goes through, and it did not. But as long as we get a second-round pick, and they could kind of use the extra goalie, Grubauer and Reimer, not exactly a great 1-2 punch behind Ben Bishop. Now, it's not like we exactly need these picks, but again, we don't want to completely rob ourselves blind. That goes through. Evan Sawchuk is off to the desert. Why we'd have to go best roster, I do not know. And we are not done yet. Defensively is where the purge is going to hit the hardest. We start off with Riley Bruce. Unfortunately, Riley Stillman, McIntyre, and it's finally happening. Charlie McAvoy. The three of these guys, all 24 years old, they haven't cracked the NHL lineup this year. It simply isn't going to happen. Now, whether or not we can trade them away to one spot, I do not know. How will the... Let's take a look here and try to find the ideal spot. The Minnesota Wild could use the help. They could use the help. Defensively, I don't know if they could use the help. Yeah, I mean, they could use a little bit of a bump up in terms of prospects down in Iowa. So why not? Let's try to send these guys to the Wild. I actually don't know if that first round pick will go through. It might. That might be too much. Let's tack on a fourth just as a safety net. And that did not go through. Will it go through straight up? It didn't. Okay. It was worth the shot. It was worth a shot. So we will just tack on a bunch of picks, and we'll see what goes through. It doesn't really matter for us what they eventually accept, if anything. Like I said, these guys just don't have a spot on the team anymore. They're all high or minor league top 2 defensemen. They might all be high. I don't know. If I wanted to make sure I could send them to Colorado. But we're going to try to send them to Minnesota. A second and the 6th for nearly a handful of defensemen who are good, but they won't crack the NHL level. We are cashing out on Denis Gurianov, a huge piece that came over with the Sagan trade. Unfortunately, I prefer Alex DeBrincat, basically. That's what it comes down to. So we're going to try to acquire Danton Heinen, again, as well as Nick Schmaltz, and we're going to have them in our bottom 6. Hopefully, this trade should go through. I'm going to, again, play it safe and just tack on an extra pick just to make sure. That didn't go through, so a third-round pick is too much, but that is all right. The big thing, and I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to do it now or next offseason, is we really need better offensive prospects down in Providence. That is our biggest need right now, and we are going to continue to try. Will this actually just go through straight up? It won't. Okay, well, that's good to know, and that shows you the value of Gurianov. We have 4 first-round picks already. That is insane. It's too easy, and I'm not even doing anything in particular to get all of these picks, but I'm tempted to use these picks right now to get some decent prospects in for the Wannabes. But Denis Gurianov is off to Chicago. We are not done yet. There is one other player that is on his way out, and he's actually complaining right now. That would be Zachary Senyshyn. I just don't think he is going to be what we want him to be, and we will see if we can send him off to the Dallas Stars. Do they have any decent prospects? Not quite. Do they have any decent prospects that would be worth picking up for the AHL team? And like I said, that's not looking too good. So we will just look to trade him for a couple of draft picks. Actually, Dallas is first. That might happen. Will that go through? It won't, but you know what? We're going to make that work. We are, as if we need it, but we are going to make that work. So if we don't rework the AHL this year, we will certainly be doing it next year. Will that go through? That will not. Sweeten it just a touch. So we'll take all of that off, and we will add our own third-round pick, because I'm expecting us, of course, to have a pretty good year. And wow, they are shafting us here, basically. This is definitely going to be in their favor. We're only getting 1 first-round pick. That goes through, though. Senyshyn off to Dallas. Unfortunately, it did count, even though he was an RFA, it did count as recently re-signing him, but I really don't care. So here we go, guys. The team is set, Have we taken a step back on paper? Probably. But I also thought I said that last year. 99 offense, 94 defense, 89 goaltending. And the AHL, 82, 81, and 76. We'll get to the AHL in a minute because that is a whole nother discussion. But here we go. Our top 6 right now is still Keller, Sagan, Pasternak, Skinner, Patrick, and we went with DeBrincat. There was a spot. It was either Senyshyn, Guryanov, or Alex DeBrincat, and we went with him. So that will be our top 6. It's looking pretty good. Third line will be Riley Tufte. We're going to give him a proper chance. Of course, he's on a 1-year deal, so this is really a big year for him. Centered by Danton Heinen, probably could have gotten a better third line center, but he's not that bad. And just in general, he should do all right, especially with Stromwall on the right-hand side. Fourth line, Kalle Sjugren is now on the main team, looking good for him. Sasha Chmelevski is still there, and Nick Schmaltz is just a fill-in. So really the bottom 6 is where it's concerning, because aside from Sjugren, we really don't have the prospects coming up through our system. That's the one spot where we have been, really in general, I can say it drafting-wise, we haven't been that great. Although in saying that, a lot of the times we're trading these prospects before they really turn in and really get into their prime, before they turn into their final product, whatever that may be. But you look down here in Providence too, it's not great. Top 9, 2 top 6 guys, and Tuparainen and Wojciechowski. That's nice. Johnston, who we just signed, he's looking okay. A couple of 24-year-olds, Bathgate, medium top 9, top 6 from Ken Platt. Like, we don't have those elite offensive prospects coming out of our system right now, so we really need to pay some more attention to that. And I think we will probably wait until the next offseason to get that settled, because it's kind of risky trading a ton of these players. But it'll be intriguing to see what that team can do. But focusing back on the main team, Bruins, that bottom 6 is weak because this is the Chicago method. That is what our team is right now. We have our top 6, really our main top 5, and then defensively. You will not see a better top 4 than this in most sims. You have Dennis Cholowski, 24 years old, a 91 overall. Jeremy Waugh, a 93. And remember, some of these guys are a point higher. They've just been affected by the trades. You have Theodore and Lampkin as the second pairing, and then Valimaki and Evan Bouchard as the third pairing. It is ridiculous. The goaltending, of course, Hanu Herme will be the starter. Shane Finger is there. He will get his fair chance of starts. The big thing, though, I would have liked to have kept him down in Providence, but we have 2 elite goalies, 2 young elite goalies that need to get that playing time. So we couldn't afford to bury Nesbitt, because we really need him to turn into what he should, and then we'll probably trade him away because Shane Finger is the goalie for the future. But then again, we did just draft the Swede, number 1 overall, did we not? So the goalie situation is very intriguing. And I guess the last thing to show you, of course, is defensively. A lot of changes, getting rid of Bruce, McAvoy, McIntyre, and Stillman. They just weren't going to pan out. We still have Gordon Pickard, who is amazing, but aside from that, Jamin Allison will give him a chance to see what he can do. Tuukka Vico is still there. Ralph Jarrett, Sylvain Fleury, who we just signed, and Tommy Helenius is there as well. So we needed to give some of these other prospects a chance to develop. Whether or not they do, we will find out. But I don't really know what to expect from these 2 teams this season. They very well could take a step back. But guys, I'm going to end the episode there. I don't want it to go on any longer than this. The teams are set in the next episode. Of course, we begin the next season. Although it's not too late, let me know. Give me your feedback down below, and we could potentially make some late changes if we have to. But yeah, that is it for this one, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, of course, make sure to hit that like button to help support me and my channel, and subscribe if you haven't already to continue following this series and others. And I will see you guys in the next one, where we once again aim to defend our Stanley Cup championship.